Few people can really understand the pain that the families of those killed and wounded at Fort Hood are going through, like those who've been in their shoes. Well, today, 10 on your side's Anita Blanton spoke to the families of two men who lost their life on November 5th, 2009. And Anita, I've heard you say this before, this has to be like pouring salt on an open wound for them.
Absolutely, Tom. I reached out to the family of Specialist J.D. Hunt that I had previously interviewed shortly after the shootings in 2009, and his sister said there's another sense of disbelief. But when I spoke to retired National Guardsman Michael Cahill's wife, she said, while saddened today, she's not in total shock, and we talked about tragedy and change.
My family and I know what those families are going through, and you just can't ease the pain at first.
This scene on April 2nd, 2014 was eerily similar to one that hit home for Jolene Cahill November 5th of 2009.
I was with my oldest daughter, Kaylee, and we sat here watching the news, and I thought back, I got notified at 11:15 at night. And that shooting happened at 1:30.
Her husband of 37 years, Michael Cahill, was gone. So one of her first thoughts watching this week's events unfold was hoping the families of those wounded and killed were notified much quicker this time around.
It was a shock, yet it wasn't, because no matter the best security in the world cannot stop everything.
Fort Hood is one of the largest military installations in the world, and she knows not every vehicle can be checked or person supervised at all times. But she says after 2009, one major change helped put some soldiers at ease.
The one change that came out of, that became an issue out of 2009, that was brought up by the wounded and those who were in SRP is, if there was a person in the building who was allowed to carry a firearm, that perhaps they could have stopped the shooter earlier.
In 2009, the love of Jolene's life lost his life, physically charging Major Nadal Malik Hassan to save others around.
You would remember his stories, his jokes, his knowledge, his humor. He could fill a room, and I miss him very much still.
She says the families at the beginning of her journey toward healing have a long road ahead, but they can get there with support and time.
There's no light there now, but there is a light eventually.
And they're going to need a caring community to surround them with love for sure. I'm going to put a link to the Facebook page for the proposed memorial paying tribute to the 2009 victims at Fort Hood and my web script at wavy.com. I'm working on that at my desk. Jolene says that she'll now talk to her fellow board members about adding the names of the 2014 victims as well. Anita Blanton, 10 on your side.